Howdy, folks. I am Charles Deering. This is technically Maker's Mashup, but I'm not mashing up and talking to nobody or anybody. I can talk better than that, by God. Anyway, the reason why I chose two different projects to work on is so nobody gets burned out on one, and this will not be one of those 8-hour shows. Just so you know, I don't have it in me. Anyway, if you're not familiar with who Jimmy Diresta is, he is a YouTube, I will call him a maker because he doesn't just work with wood. He has over 1 million. Matter of fact, I'll tell you right now, he has, without refreshing, he has 1,123,074 subscribers. And I am a fan of his. I wouldn't call myself a fanboy, but I like the way he teaches. He does it without making you feel stupid. And he's just a great guy. I got to meet him in Atlanta. He didn't have a clue who I was, which I thought was hilarious because he was so polite about it. But it was neat to get to meet him. And somebody was telling me yesterday, man, you're just doing this to name drop. I said, well, I'd be lying if I didn't want to get my name out there. I mean, that's part of it. But yeah, I also want to give back. So that's one of the reasons. What you're looking at right now, if you're not familiar with who Gollum is, that is the character from Lord of the Rings. You start my princess. So that's who that is. And that is about 30 inches tall. And there's old Chris Nealon, Niantic River. We got Rusty Nails with an S. I can never remember his dang name. Dan Engelbretson, Katie Dotson, Jim Brashears, Steve Nealon of Harnell Media. Be happy. I don't know if I ever knew his name. Sorry, sir. When I'm start scrolling, I won't be able to see the chat because there's a fan here. I don't want to get dust all over my shop. I had already started the Jimmy Diresta portrait. I'm trying to do it to where y'all can see it. That's why my camera zoomed out so far. This is Jimmy Diresta. Dang it, my chair is swiveling and I didn't want it to. Okay. I will introduce the panel here shortly, but this is the picture I worked from to make it. So that gives you an idea of what the guy looks like if you have not seen him. And I've done his hat and his eyes, but I knew if I did a whole show of just facial hair, that would bore the crap out of people. So that's why I decided to work on two different projects. But Jimmy, if y'all are not familiar with Jimmy Diresta, almost everything he does, he stencils his name in with spray paint. So that's why I put his name at the bottom. And when I get it done and when I can afford it, I will mail it off to him. And that is that. So I'm going to start with Gollum since it's already on the saw. And y'all are welcome to answer or ask any questions. That goes to the panel as well as anybody in the chat. Hello, Eloy. I'll go ahead and introduce the panel, but that's why I'm zoomed out so far. I will zoom in now or here shortly. After I introduce the panel, I just wanted to be able to show you all the full size of those pieces. The Jimmy Diresta is dang near 3 feet tall, but about 2 feet wide. Alrighty then, let me find my mouse over here, and we're going to go to Al Forte first. Al is in Odessa, Texas.
Hello, folks. How are y'all doing this evening? Al Forte, Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop on YouTube, and Odessa Woodworking on Facebook. And thank you for allowing me to be on the panel. It's always great to I was going to say to see you, but I guess I'm not seeing you. You're seeing us. So,
hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
No, I appreciate you being here.
Thank you. And like I always say, just for fun.
Live long and prosper, my God. If anybody else is watching and wants to be on the panel, contact Al or Paul Corliss or Dave at Portal Woodworks for the link because I'll be too busy pretending I'm doing stuff. Paul Corliss out of Michigan.
Nope, it took me a second. I wasn't prepared to be that soon.
It's a sneaky thing.
I'm Paul Corliss from Snowy, Michigan, and you can see me on Paul's Messy Workshop on YouTube, on Instagram, and paulsmessyworkshop.com, and usually here on Friday nights. And thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank y'all both, all three of y'all, for being so loyal to the panel. Anybody else? I send other invites, but you know, people Usually have things going, and sometimes I wait till the last minute to send those invites, so I apologize to those people. Real quickly, Mark Lindsay is out there. He says, live long and perspire, Al. Niantic River says, I need a 48-inch scroll saw, which is not false. Anyway, next we have Dave Jones of Portal Woodworks, and all I have is his thumbnail. Let's try this again. Dave, are you with us? His connection was fine until right when I went to him, by golly. Well, if he comes back in, y'all let me know, and you know he can talk and stuff. Talking stuff, that's what we do on this show. And we scroll for real. Okay, real quickly, not to intentionally spam everybody, but y'all understand. If you so choose to support me and or my channel, I have something called the super chat underneath where that $ is. You click on that, it'll walk you through. If you prefer to get something back out of the deal, I am also on my website. You'll see the links to all these things in the description of this video, even when it's not live, except for the super chat. Anyway, I have t-shirts. One of them is that picture of me pointing saying scroll on, and it says scroll on underneath it. And one of them is just the word scroll on. That's the one I think will do better, because not everybody wants my ugly mug on their shirt. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I also have coffee cups with, what was that, Al?
Sorry to interrupt. It looks like David's back.
Awesome, Dave. Dave, you want to introduce yourself right quick? Or not?
Less I misspeak.
You misspoke. Okay, I hear you. I can hear you, Dave, but I don't see you.
I have no idea. Wire over here again.
Well, your audio is definitely clear as a bell. If you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody about your challenge you got going on.
All right, I'm David from Portal Woodworks. To Instagram, Twitter. Bandsaw box challenge going on till the end of the year. All the rules and regulations are under rules and challenges. You can win $100 as the top prize, and there's a bunch of other. So get in your shop,
$100,
and get busy.
Get busy, but bandsaw is required. Yeah, you're not for those people like me that don't have one. Anyway, thank you, Dave, and he's out of Georgia, by the way. What was I saying? Oh, I was spamming everybody. Yeah, so you have the chance of either the picture version of scroll on or just the text scroll on. Right now I have that in 2 options on t-shirts and a whole bunch of colors until January 1st. Those colors will, because of the website, will go down a little bit. I'm working on caps and beanies, but there's also coffee cups. But and if you have ever heard of Patreon, I finally got that set up, and that's another way I want to give back. If you have the option to donate as little as $1, and you'll get my appreciation for that, but every other level has a reward system. If you're a scroller, it's more beneficial, but the higher up you go, you don't even have to be a scroll sawyer to benefit from it, because I'll do personal portraits. It just depends on how high up that goes. All those links are in my description, but I'll stop talking about me, by God. I'm wearing my scroll on shirt right now, but I can't show you because I don't want to lay on my scroll saw. That would look kind of stupid, but I guarantee you to get a lot of screen captures. I should make that my thumbnail. So I am going to, does anybody have a preference? Would y'all prefer I start with Gollum or Jimmy Diresta? Ding, 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 ding.
What's on there? Gollum, right?
Yeah.
My precious, put it on. Put it on.
Now you are going to do that with flat blades, aren't you, Charles?
Oh, heck no. Chris Nealon, thank you for that. And the shirts are linked in the description of this video. And even if you're not watching the show live, if you're somebody else not watching the show live, all these links I just talked about are in the description. Oh, and I forgot to mention my website. as well as this show, is sponsored by, my website is done by Steve Nealon of Harneal Media. And that's also sponsor of the show and this channel.
Eloy is asking for Diresta, and Katie just told him that Gollum is on the saw. Cut the saw on.
Well, I have to finish babbling first, Katie, but thank y'all both for your vote. Yeah,
Be happy says Gollum, and then first Jimmy, second James in the freeze right now. What? Who?
He said first Jimmy, second Jimmy's in the freeze right now. Okay, I'm totally lost, but that's not hard to do. What was I talking about? Tommy G is out there. Dag Blabbit, what was I talking about, Al? Was anybody paying attention? Because I wasn't.
Yes, you were asking which one of the two patterns to cut.
Oh no, I was talking about Harneal Media. Steve Nealon. Oh, we lost Portal Woodworks again. Harneal Media, harnealmedia.com. He specializes in makers websites, but that's not all he does. He just specializes in it. Very, very, very affordable, and if I can afford it, I promise you most of y'all can. And I had one of the harder kind of websites to do because of having so many patterns. It's like a shop with over 1,400 products, and that's a lot of work for him, but it's affordable. And Makers Media Network is just a network of folks. It's not an elite thing. It's just there's an application process. 9 times out of 10 people are approved. I don't know what the terms are of what gets you approved or not. I believe Al Forte is the newest. No, he's not the newest, but Al Forte is in there. I'm in there. Paul Corliss.
No, I think Mom from What Mom Knows, or Know What Mom Knows.
Shelly Cole. Yeah, Shane Cole's in there. Yeah, and I know a lot of people in the chat are there. Eloy Escajedo Woodworking. He also has a show during the week. I think it's on Tuesdays, but I've slept since then. It might be on Wednesdays because I'm a terrible spokesman for all this. But yeah, Steve Nealon has saved my butt. Everything on my website is downloadable, and that is awesome. Anyways, they're talking about engines out there, so it's probably about time I got started. Let me zoom in. Is the dog mad because I haven't started yet?
Be quiet.
Okay, I got to get my controller working. Man, I lost my dang. Okay, I got to zoom in. Whoa, that zoomed in quick. I always start with the eyes on any kind of living being. Well, this is not a living being, but you know what I mean. If they have a face, I start with the eyes. And I'm going to hide the panel. I hope y'all don't mind.
Is there a reason you start with the eyes, Charles?
Because, thank you for asking, Paul. I always start with the eyes and then the mouth, because if I mess those up, then I don't even try to continue. Because imagine trying to do the whole project and then you mess up the eyes or the mouth, you know, because 9 times out of 10, the face is the most recognizable feature of a being. This one is a fictional character, but still, if you mess that up, then why continue? That sounds like a defeatist attitude, but it's the truth. I mean, if I knocked his eyeballs completely out, I might have to think of another way to work on it. But yeah, that's that. Is that zoomed in far enough for y'all to like it? Or
yeah.
To see? All right.
Yeah, you can see it.
So let me, I'm going to hide the panel. It is not personal. Well, yeah, it is. I'm kidding. I'm going to hide the panel that way. Nothing is blocked by the panel there, but y'all can still talk at will. And when
is Will here?
You funny, you funny, baby. Anyway, thank y'all for the thumbs up. They're much appreciated. Now, when I scoot forward to the scroll saw, I will not be able to see the chat, so y'all are welcome to share anything with me. I can sort of see it, but there's a fan going on because I don't want dust all over my office. And it's already cold here. But anyway, yeah, let's talk about engines, because apparently that's what's going on in the chat. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so we're going to go. Now, if I get my stool to scoot forward.
Yeah, they're talking about different frequencies.
Yeah. Oh, I thought they were talking about engines on. Well, you talking 440 is a Chrysler engine, KG.
Yes, definitely that. But I think it was Eloy that brought up something about 440 pitch.
Well, all right.
But he'll sell for 60.
Sounds good. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to see the chat any further. So if y'all want to, either make conversation between yourselves, non-Star Trek or or Doctor Who.
No, we're talking about Chrysler engines now. We wouldn't talk about that. And you're right, Chris Nealon. 442, correct.
All right, yeah, but whatever keeps the chat going. It doesn't have to be on what you call it, on topic. Alrighty, I'm getting ready to start. First thing I would need is a blade. The saw. I'll go ahead and go through the little things. Y'all can ask questions throughout the show. That includes the panel as well as the chat. I am using a Hagner scroll saw, 22-inch, and I'm too far away from the controller now. But when you hear about the capacity of a scroll saw like this one being a 22-inch, it's talking about where the blade. Why don't I get a blade and show y'all? Talking about where the blade comes out of the table. Gotta get the tension correct. All I use is spiral blades. Let me tweak the camera for a second. From that blade where it comes through the table to right here, the back of the throat, that is what they're measuring when they call it a 16-inch, a 22-inch, whatever. But so that's what that is. Anyway, I use only number 3 and number 5 Flying Dutchman spirals. I'm not opposed to trying Pegasus or anything, or Olsen or anything. I just haven't tried them because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, you know, some people swear by certain brands, so I might be missing something. God, it's cold because I got this fan blowing on me, but I don't want dust. So I'm going to start out with the eyes because that's always the most recognizable thing, at least in my opinion, unless you got like a really unique mouth. Anywho, without any further ado, wait, I know it's missing. I haven't taken a swig of my Dr. Pepper.
Sip on, Charles. Sip
By
on.
God, sip on, baby. That's some good water. I'm kidding. I'm not sponsored by Dr. Pepper, but I, by God, should be. Them in Marlboro.
Product placement. Unsolicited product placement.
Yep. And I had my nails done it. I'm kidding. I didn't have my nails done because I'm a man. Kidding. Don't want to piss off anybody. So yes, if you're just now joining us, I will do part of this one and part of Jimmy Diresta. That way nobody gets it burned out on a specific one. Because if you came here to see Jimmy Diresta's portrait, then I want you to be happy.
And it's Gollum.
Yes, it's Gollum.
My precious.
Gollum is a Lord of the Rings character as well as the Hobbit series. Isn't he on the Hobbit or is it just Lord of the Rings?
I don't know.
I don't keep up with all that stuff. But if it was Star Trek, Al would know. Anyway, I'm sorry, Al. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, this fan is killing me here, but okay. There won't be any dust in my shop. Okay, the chat is not moving or it froze or something, but I'm going to start, believe it or not. And you're welcome. Can y'all hear me over the saw?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing the light. I'm cutting around the light in the eye first because that'll be brittle if I wait till last. How long did it take me to start? 20 minutes?
Yeah, pretty close.
Well, you kind of fell into the cutting instead of starting early.
Yeah, at least I didn't start 30 minutes early, so. I forgot what I was going to say. The show isn't necessarily going to stop at an hour. It depends on how I feel, but it definitely won't be an 8-hour show like the Harley Quinn was. But I don't even think that was on the show day. It was just a random day. I just wanted to finish it. But I may do sometime during the week. I may continue to work on both of these just for in case anybody wants something to watch. If anybody has any questions, go ahead.
I'm keeping an eye out. We're still discussing the 442 package on the Dodge Chrysler products of the 70s, and that the 442 is a 4-speed, 4-barrel, 2-door vehicle, and it comes with a 455 cubic inch Oldsmobile engine. Oldsmobile is not around anymore. I think. Is it Buick or Oldsmobile that went away? Or both?
Oldsmobile.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, I went off the line. That's on me. I'm gonna have to compensate when I do that upper eyelid. But I try to follow that line. If I try to follow that line, I will break the eyelid right here, or the little bitty line that separates the eyelid shadow from the eye. I waved that line too close, so I'm gonna have to compensate when I do the shadow.
And David's back. Hello, David.
Welcome back, David. So yeah, that's one eye.
Tommy G is saying, I say let's stay on till you get through the one, and Jimmy Diresta, stay till it's done. Boy, I think that's some I don't know the word I'm trying to use, but
If it wasn't a Friday night, I probably would, but I'm pretty sure most people. I can't see how many people are watching right now, but probably not a whole heck of a lot.
25.
Wow, that's
25.
more than I expected. Okay, I am sorry. And I know you said there wasn't any questions, but what I wanted to let people know is it's okay to ask a beginner question. If you don't know, nobody learns until they're told. So it doesn't make you.
Mark Lindsay wants to know, would some thin CA glue strengthen that almost break on the eye?
It's not really weak yet. It just, I don't know that it would strengthen it. It would, if it broke, you might can glue it back together. But I'm just going to compensate and not stay right on the line. And that's the thing with detailed. Thank you for the question, by the way, and thank you for telling me about the question. That's the thing about detailed scroll saw patterns or any scroll saw patterns. The lines are a suggestion. Like if you think that area between the shadow and the eye is too narrow, make it wider. You're in control, and if you break it, it doesn't mean you're a failure. Go ahead.
And Jim Bashirs wants to know what size blade you're using.
Number 5 is all I have loaded in my clamps, and I have about 11 clamps loaded.
how high is up?
How high is up? Is that what you said?
I guess they're talking about the thumbs up.
Oh. Right now the thumbs down are winning, but I don't, just oh well.
No, it's 17 to 11. The thumbs up are winning.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did. I haven't refreshed. Mine was at 6 and 9 last I saw. Anyway, don't y'all worry about them thumbs downs. It's still activity. Anyway, I am going to compensate when doing this eyelid. Stay on the line for the most part, but I don't have to stay right on it because of that wave I made. Now, I'm going to interrupt myself. A lot of people get nervous saying, there's no way. If you sneeze, you're screwed. Yeah, if you sneeze, maybe. But this blade cannot cut in any direction that you're not steering. I mean, that's not to make fun of you if you have a problem with keeping the blade near the line. It just means people say they're really aggressive, and maybe I'm just so used to them that I don't feel that way. But with me sitting here like this, if my hands aren't moving, that blade isn't cutting much of anything. It might be just going up and down in the same spot. So in other words, if you steer the piece and what it's called when you're moving the piece into the blade is the feed rate, you control how fast that goes, and you control which direction that blade goes for the most part. I mean, you have to compensate for a slight bit of drift. And I heard somebody start to talk. Is there a comment or question?
I started using flat blades when I first started scrolling, which really isn't a long time ago. But one time up, blade, for some reason, I can't go back to using the flat blades anymore. I have to do it with the spirals. For some reason, I find it easier to control it. To go around. Perhaps that might mean that I don't know how to scroll saw or scroll.
No,
with flat blades.
I'm kind of biased because I've only used the flat blade once, and that was recorded live, and that was laughable. But to me, it just made sense to use spirals because they cut in any direction, and you're not having to spin this 30-inch tall piece around. So with a spiral, you can cut larger pieces. Go ahead, Paul.
Are you using MDF-based plywood?
Yeah, that's most of what I have left in stock. Is it's about 3/16 inch thick, and I should have kept that piece of. The next scrap I drop out, I'll show it to you up close. It's got a veneer on the top, a veneer on the bottom, and an MDF core is what I believe is what they call it. But I don't even. I got it from a friend of mine who had a stroke, so I don't know where he got it. But it's decent quality wood. But yeah, I hope I answered that question. I babble so much I tend to forget if I answered or not. So yeah, I compensated on where I went off the line. I just wait. Am I even in range? No, I'm not. Oh, where am I? Yeah,
well, Mark Lindsay thinks that's cool. I do too, Mark. I've never heard of MDF.
Yeah, I don't know where you can buy it. That's what this happens to be. I got real lucky. I mean, I hate to say that, but a friend of mine had a stroke. I hate to use the word lucky, but I'm down to maybe 20 sheets of this, and some of them have really crappy grain, so I may have to start buying. Okay, we're going to go to the other eye, and again, any questions of any level are welcome. Doesn't even have to pertain to what I'm doing, but I will answer anything. That's family friendly. Now, I want y'all to pay attention when I get down to this part of the eye. You'll notice I stopped moving the piece and I'll let the flex come out of the blade. I don't know how well that'll show up on camera, but watch the piece itself moving. And when it stops, I'm letting the flex come out of the blade when I get to the end of an area like a corner. I'm stopping. It's kind of subtle, so it's kind of hard to tell. Because I'm not cutting 90 miles an hour, it's kind of hard to tell when I'm stopping the movement. I don't recall the width of this project, but it is about 30 inches tall.
You tell him, Katie. Hi, Ron. Okay, Charles is doing Gollum. A 440 is a Chrysler engine. Ask Mark to explain the old 442. Then you will be caught up. Oh, and Eloy's head hurts, but he's not sure what frequency. He said something about 440, but he'll take 60. I think that's what it was. I might have gotten that last part messed up.
I'm so lost. But,
thank you for the sub, Liberty Woodworking.
Thank you, Liberty. Or unless he was talking to you.
Well, yeah, he was. He did. I was thanking him personally.
Awesome.
Yes.
Can't have too many subs, by golly.
Nope.
Okay, so the eyes are done, so suddenly that pops out at you, even without a dark background. I mean, but that's, you know, I mean, you can try to visualize things all you want, but once things are cut out, they jump out at you. And if you're just now joining us, I will be doing Jimmy Diresta at some point. The show may not stop after an hour, but it will not be an 8-hour show. Okay, I always go from the eyes. Sometimes I'll do the features around the eyes, like I'm about to do the shadow on the eyelid here, or the eye socket, and then I'll probably move over to the mouth. I usually go eyes to mouth, because sometimes the shadows around the eyes are what make the eyes. I don't know, hopefully that makes sense.
I guess Jim Bashirs does not like Gollum. He says that he doesn't think that, and I quote, that little jerk Gollum deserves his own scroll saw portrait.
Yeah, he's a greedy little thing, isn't he?
Yes, yes.
But he does not know, and he can't do a dang thing about it. But, wait, this is not good timing. But
So
I
Ron
stole his
Norris-
precious.
Oh my goodness.
That's kidding with my wedding ring. Go ahead.
Ron Norris a second ago asked if anybody was drunk, and usually there's a word. The word for tonight is Lord. I don't know.
Let's think of one better. We can't say "the" like last week because everybody will be blitzed in 5 minutes. Dang it! Now I'm trying to think of a drinking word.
Dang it.
Well, no, because "dang it" usually means a mistake, and I don't want a bunch of those. We'll think of something as we go. Usually that's a topic in the chat as well. Okay, let me get back going here.
Is that a temporary word?
Is what I know Ron's favorite words is butt nugget, because I used to call people that. Hello, butt nuggets. But now he calls everybody chat nuggets, and he's about the only one that does that. But I know what he means when he says it. But it's a term of endearment from me when I say it, so I hope y'all won't be offended. Anyway, so, oh, by the way, I need to point out, oh, dang it, I think it's too late now. This piece being 30 inches tall, off to this side over here, you can't see them because they're just out of camera range and I can't reach the controls. I have 2 ruler stands. That's what's holding the part that's coming off the table, because the edge of the table's right here. It's the only thing about the Hegner I don't really like is how narrow that table is. It's only like 9 inches wide. But I bought a piece of Lexan that's 2 feet by 3 feet. So I'm going to, no, 2 feet by 4 feet, and it's a 1/4 inch thick. So I'm going to use that to have bigger pieces, but I couldn't move it around in my shop, is why I didn't do that already. But anyway, that's, people wonder how I'm able to do large projects. It's because I have a roller stand or a roller stand table on the part that's hanging off. That's why I'm banging on it right now and you don't see it flopping off the table. So anyway. And I might say dang it when I break a blade, but aside from that, hopefully I won't have too many dang it.
Roll on.
Go on, baby. And it's okay to go off the line for things like shadows, because it's a pretty wrinkly character anyway. So I mean, his eyes and mouth are probably his only real recognizable feature. So it's okay if you're not perfect on everything. And when you're doing a portrait like Jimmy Diresta, you got to be careful because it has to look like him. But go ahead, Al.
Ron Norris says you're the head nugget too, Charles.
I'm the head nugget, baby. We'll pretend that's a good thing.
Mark Lindsay says make the drinking word anyway.
Yeah, because I say that a lot. I remember Gary Griffith one time said, make the word, or drink every time Charlie laughs or giggles, because I've noticed I laugh and giggle quite a bit in these shows, and usually it's ungodly. I'll usually go, you know, just some kind of weird thing. And I was supposed to show you all the close-up of the material.
No more? Oh, sorry, guys. I thought I was muted.
That is what the material looks like. It is about 3/16 of an inch thick, has an MDF core and 2 veneers. It's I don't know what kind of veneer on top, and it's a dark veneer on bottom, or darker, and it's glossy. Anyway, for some reason I never use the glossy side because I like the natural grains of the veneer. Anyway, so we're gonna run right on over to the mouth because I've done that, and then I'll probably do the wrinkles under the eyes.
And
Go ahead.
JP Woodworking just came on.
Jamie Page from across the pond.
You
He
want
says-
a link, JP?
They'll probably say, no, I'm just stopping by. And he says my British accent sounds more like posh, which I guess means like the rich and snooty British people. But I try. And I know y'all, if y'all watch past shows, I tell you I almost always forget to drill certain pilot holes.
I'm
But
getting
I
it to you. Sorry, Charles.
No problem. I intentionally leave out pilot holes. I left out pilot holes on this one because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do the whole thing unless I go for 8 to 10 hours, and that's just not going to happen. In the future, it might. So if you are that bored or that into scrolling and want to see this thing being worked on as well as Jimmy Diresta's portrait, then sometime during the week, it will probably be a last minute announcement. But that being said, if you are subscribed or are not subscribed to me, or if you're not subscribed to me, please subscribe. But to be notified of any show I do, even if it's a last minute decision, click the bell. Not the bell for your own YouTube, but the bell that's on my profile or whatever, and that will notify you every time I have a video starting. Most of my videos lately have been live streams, so, you know, whether it be an interview with somebody or a scrolling project. But if you don't want to miss me ever doing something like this, just click that bell after you've subscribed, and by golly, you'll be notified. But I'll also spam the heck out of Facebook. Go ahead, Al. I heard you starting to talk.
No, I was just going to tell them that it's there. JP's got the link.
Okay, go ahead.
Ron Norris wants to know if you hand draw that pattern.
I hand draw it, but as far as putting it on the wood, I just blow up the pattern with a online program called RapidResizer.com. Well, it's called Rapid Resizer. The website is RapidResizer.com. There is a either monthly or yearly fee. I don't recall, but to me it's worth it because I can print any size I want. But you can also do that with your printer settings, like poster and stuff like that. But
and JP is now with us.
JP, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself, and for those that the few that don't know about you.
I'm from England, UK, Britain, however you like to say it. So you can now. I'm from the YouTube channel JP Woodwork, Twitter and Instagram JP_Woodwork. I'm 1/5 of the Makers International podcast. There is a competition or giveaway, shall I say, which I believe we're in the last 2 days. It ends midnight tonight, Eastern Standard, and we're actually giving away some resin and a pen blank, not a pen blank, a bottle stopper blank. If you want to go over to makersinternationalpodcast.com, and it'll be at the top of the page. And my website is jp-woodwork.com, and all of that is sponsored by Steve Nealon at harnellmedia.com.
By golly. Thank you for being here, Jamie. I know it's a real late hour for you right now. It's probably, what, 6 hours ahead of me, and it's 8 or 9 p.m. Central.
2 a.m.
2 a.m. By the way, real quickly, in the past, I couldn't reach them when I was talking about them, but the downfall of using spirals. Thank you for being here, by the way, Jamie. I don't know if I said that or if I was just thinking it. But anyway, the downfall of using spirals, at least one of them, is the fuzzies you get on the back, and that's where these come in handy. These are what they call needle files. All you got to do is go at a slight angle. But I'll show you when I got a scrap piece in my hand. It looks stupid just doing that. Anyway, so those are needle files. I got those when I was in Atlanta. One of the 3 purchases.
Can I give a quick tip, which I've also found? If you
absolutely.
One thing I've also found is, which my girlfriend doesn't like me admitting this, but the nail files that females use.
Oh, emery boards, yeah.
Yeah, you can slice them up quite thinly if you really need to, and you can actually use them as well.
Yep. And Katie Dawson brought that up in the chat one time, or maybe more than once.
That's an awesome. I've yet to do that, but that's an awesome. Suggestion.
Definitely an idea. Now, people wonder why I draw it directly on the wood. Technically, I'm not drawing it on the wood. I trace the enlarged pattern with carbon paper underneath, and for me, that's therapeutic. But I started doing it because I don't know if it's exclusively spiral blade or crappy adhesive, but when I tried to adhere the paper to the wood and just cut the pattern, the spiral would lift the paper up. So I got tired of messing with that. But for me personally, it's therapeutic. I can be listening to music, chatting, whatever, while I'm tracing the pattern with carbon paper underneath. And so that's why I do it directly on the wood. This is not out of my head. I work from photographs. I could not just draw this willy-nilly. Yes, sir.
How do you keep up with the lines that you've drawn? If your pattern is say a black ink, and you're drawing with a pencil or even a pen, how do you know that you've gone over something? I mean, I guess you can see it, but easily.
Yeah, that's a drawback, and in a way, you unintentionally called me out, but that's something I need to correct. Go ahead.
One thing for me is you can normally lift up a piece of paper or wood that you're transferring over, and you can normally see light reflecting off of the ink.
Yes, exactly.
That kind of helps. So if you've normally got some sort of light source bouncing off of the piece of paper, it also bounces off of the ink as well.
Well, that and 9 times out of 10, you're subconsciously realizing where you've been and where you haven't. But there are times, especially on uber detailed pieces, that you may forget to trace it, different parts of it, and I've done that. Just like sometimes I forget to drill a pilot hole and I got to go back. But I used to be really, for lack of a better way of putting it, I used to religiously make patterns in gray and white. That way you could see a black pen ink line if you were tracing it. But black and white shows a better contrast, and that's why, unfortunately, some of my patterns are in black and white, and I'm sorry for that as far as the blade getting lost. I should have taken the time to go make them all gray and white, but it is what it is, and I apologize. But I hope that answered your question. I'm going to scroll while we talk, but you're still welcome to talk while I'm scrolling.
Yeah, they want you to scroll on.
Yeah.
They want to see you scroll, man.
Okay.
I always tend to use blue ink anyway when I'm drawing my pattern on anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a thought, and I thought about this after I asked the question. You guys went through all the explanation. There's actually white lead pencils that you could use. They're $17 for a dozen, which it's not too bad, but that would be one way to keep track, I guess.
Yeah, I just got lost in my own pattern on that upper lip. Did I forget to draw a line? No, that's two different. Crap. Okay, that's two different things. Okay, I just got really close. Sorry. I'm going to make that a little narrower. That line right there I thought was connected over here, but it wasn't. So I'm glad I noticed that. Yes, from here on out during the show, I will continue talking while I'm scrolling. That way, it's not all
Debbie
talk.
Shipman made a good comment, and actually that really is a good comment. I want to know how he knows what to cut and what not to cut without the shading most of the patterns. And I think he just probably saw that he thought he'd cut something over.
Yeah, well that was the rare time it can confuse with my own pattern. But let me find a pen and I will show you exactly. Because as far as patterns in general, 9 times out of 10 you will cut out the dark areas. Otherwise, if a designer is conscious of it, they will say cut out the white or cut out the such and such. But okay, I can't find a pen because that would be way too convenient. But if you have it drawn out on the wood and you don't want to get confused, shade it in with a pen, or just do an X inside of each area you want to cut out. The only reason I color mine in is so the potential consumer looking to buy a pattern can see what it looks like cut out. Generally, I mean, it's because the contrast is what catches the eye. But if it's like just a series of lines on here, you can shade it in with a pen or pencil, or just put an X inside of it, and that'll help you a little bit. I mean, I hope that answers your question, Debbie, and thank you for watching. And I'm going to continue scrolling while we're talking. I said I was going to scroll while we talked, and I stopped scrolling. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. Go ahead.
Here's an idea. Chris Nealon says, Charles, you should sell the patterns already drawn on the wood. Perfect for us lazy people. And honestly, that's what I was thinking a second ago. I'm not going to shade that in.
Well, I mean, that's only God. Most people would use use adhesive and adhere the paper to the wood. So most people don't have the problems I have in more ways than one. But anyway, don't say anything, Jamie. But you're probably nodding. But I have the panel hidden so nobody can see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other breaks I take is
all I keep thinking of is, Jimmy Diresta looks ill. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, yeah, Jamie was one. Matter of fact, I need to give credit where credit is due. I could not find in my opinion, a decent picture of Jimmy Diresta to work with, and Jamie is the one that found one, and he enlarged it for me and sent it to me. This is the picture I worked from to do the Jimmy Diresta one, which you will see after a while, I promise. But yeah, Jamie is the one that got me this photograph, and now I should say this later because the drawn out piece isn't sitting here, but you notice he doesn't have a completely black beard. That's why. I mean, you can get away when you're doing facial hair. You can get away with just cutting that out and leaving some bridges in there. But I'm a detail freak, or at least just a freak. But anyway, that's why. And I interrupted myself, but I had to stop scrolling to hold something. So there you go. Yeah. But I would charge much more if I was sending out stuff already drawn on the wood.
Be Happy Woodworking thinks that's an odd photo. Too young.
Well, he's often seen wearing those dark rimmed glasses. But I like, as far as a portrait, I thought it might look better without the glasses. But there were other options. But go ahead.
They are Jim Bashir's. Dang, Charles, those cuts are really close.
Yeah, they are. I think a lot of why I do this, and it's killing my business, but I think I like to challenge myself, and why I always do detailed patterns. But I've got to, and I say this every time I'm doing a live show, I have got to do simpler versions of these patterns.
I think he does detailed patterns to spite me.
Yeah, Jamie, I mean, he may not like me 100% of the time anyways, but when he's working on a detailed picture, he'll tell all of Facebook, I hate Charles Deering right now. And I hate myself when I'm working on something like this, but then when you're done, there's such a sense of pride. Not necessarily in Charles Deering, but in the amount of detail. It's just like doing a real detailed drawing. But it's funny, because I don't have the patience to put a little plastic model car together. And that takes less time than even that Harley Quinn I did. It took a total of 10 hours. But you got to kind of like what you're doing to put up with it. Even if you do like it, you got to have a break.
Yeah.
And Jamie is one of the few people I know that stands up to scroll, but I don't know how much more I can say without disrespecting privacy. If Jamie, if you want to talk about it, you can.
Yeah, go ahead, mate. You say whatever you want.
Jamie has ankle or bone issues in his ankle, I believe, or his foot.
Yeah, it basically goes over on its side.
Yeah, so I think that's why you stand up is correct.
It's one of the reasons. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck between the devil and the deep blue sea.
That's the British version of rocking a hard place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It hurts
familiar.
back when I sit down, and it hurts my feet when I stand up.
Yeah, I cannot imagine standing up. My back's hurting right now.
Right.
Yeah, I seem to do it better when I stand up. So,
I mean, there's definitely a better perspective looking down on the piece, but my God, that would kill my back.
yeah.
That's just me. Oh, another thing about, and me and Jamie, and I have to turn the saw off to say this, but I'll show it to you with the saw on. Me and Jamie both do this. It's funny. We heard Eloy talking the other day about how he cut himself on a scroll saw, and that's very rare. But if you do, it doesn't hurt. I mean, it's nothing. It's not much worse than a paper cut. But you're more likely to cut yourself on a flat blade because all the teeth are on the front. But unless you're pushing your finger into there, you're not going to really hurt yourself. So, I mean, if you're a beginner, don't be scared. It's okay to be scared, but there's no reason to be. But with a spiral blade, the teeth are all the way around the blade. Why don't I show you one up close in case you're a first-time watcher? If I can get it to zoom in or focus. That is a spiral blade. So it's like a flat blade. It's just twisted. Yeah. They call me Captain Genius. But anyway, the thing with the spiral blade, you can't do this with a flat blade on the tooth side. Does that make any sense? Anyway, you can pluck that blade. You will not hurt yourself. You can hear me hitting that blade. No damage. Sorry for the finger that I used, but it's not intentional. I just thought that as I was telling you.
Giving the bird.
Yeah, and while I was busy scrolling and babbling, I cut right through where I wasn't supposed to, but it'll still hold on over here. Dag blabbit, Jamie.
We'll blame it on Dave Gatton, okay?
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and round out where I messed it up, but I'm gonna have to be very careful on that corner because that's the only thing holding. Well, no, because the upper lip is helping hold the bottom lip, so I think we're okay. And we were going to make it, dang it, be the drinking word. We probably should have made it dag blabbit because that's usually what I say when I want to cuss. But I don't never cuss, and if you believe that, something's wrong. That's when you know you have quality wood, is when you can go that small and it doesn't chip out and break. I don't know how well you can see that little peninsula I just did. But it didn't chip out and break. But Home Depot or Lowe's wood will. And that's, if you're in the UK or outside the US, I don't know what they'll have instead of Home Depot or Lowe's.
Over here, B&Q, that sort of place is like your Home Depot or Lowe's or.
Yeah. I don't know about 2 foot by 4 foot sheets because I haven't researched it yet. I haven't had the need to yet. But not everybody cuts something the size of a billboard. So the average stroller can find good quality wood either on eBay. If you look under thin wood, on eBay I use a guy that goes by Deer 56 Hunter. But you can also go to OCoochHardwood.com. And that's OCOOCH. And you notice I have my finger right by that blade because I don't want that piece to vibrate off. And I won't hurt myself doing that unless I just sit there into the blade. There's Ocooch Hardwoods, and I believe there's Sloan's Wood Shop, and that's SLOANS, woodshop.com. And there are other ones, and I know that's been in the chat before, people listing different sources of wood. Now, right this second, that looks a little funny, but it almost looks like a weird fish creature because of the mouth and the eyes being the only thing done. I'm trying to get it in the camera view, but the blade's in the way. There we go. So, yeah, without that outside of the head being cut, that looks a little bit funny. But I'm going to go to the nose next.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I thought of. The only thing missing is the little fins on the side.
Yeah, Dave Gatton says that doesn't look like Jimmy Diresta. Just saying.
Yeah, well, I knew somebody was going to say that. But okay, somebody's got a severe echo going.
Dave Gatton.
Oh, is Dave getting in here?
Yeah.
He snuck in somehow.
Hey, Dave.
Howdy,
Welcome.
Dave.
Kind of a struggle to go without Dave Gatton.
Absolutely. Dave, have you matched all the thumbs downs yet? That's kind of an inside joke, folks. Okay, that was awkward. I shouldn't have put him on the spot like that. So I'm going to start scrolling again. Thank you for coming, David. Dave, if you want to introduce yourself, feel free. Okay, is this a prank? Nobody's talking. Or does Dave have an audio or video issues?
Looks like he's got his mic
Out right now.
going.
Yeah, Dave Gatton just said that's what happens when you leave the door unlocked.
Yeah.
Hacked
Yeah.
you. Hacked you.
Yeah, there's a couple times I went on his show and I'm not even into CNCs, and he'll say, "How the heck do you get in here?"
Yeah, he muted so he wouldn't echo.
Yeah. Okay. Don't let anybody in here.
Ma'am, Becky, doing just fine. Thank you for asking.
I remember when Becky first started going to these live shows. Good to see you, Becky. Although I don't actually see you. Anyway, I am usually I will cut the. Is that an echo or is somebody trying to talk?
I don't know what.
Am I still echoing?
What was that, Dave?
I said, am I still echoing?
It doesn't sound like it.
Test. No, you're not. Go ahead and tell everybody, all three people on the internet that don't know who you are, sir.
Oh, everybody knows who I am.
All right, that's Dave Gatton. He also has a website by Harnell Media. I believe 2 websites. I could be wrong unless he's
I'm
merging.
a famous scroller.
Oh, yes, he is a blossoming scroller.
So is Carl Jacobson now.
Really?
Yeah, I bought him a scroll saw.
So is
Yeah, I'm gonna get Carl Jacobson to teach me how to scroll.
Steve Nealon just started scrolling.
Yeah.
By God, it's catching on.
And Mick Ferry.
Nick Ferry?
Yeah.
That's a shock. Which one did he end up buying? Because I know he was asking advice.
I think he bought it for his son, mainly.
Yeah. The reason I generally... Okay, I'm getting that echo again. No offense, Dave.
I'll mute.
10-4. But thank you for being here. Usually I will cut the perimeter of a piece out to lessen the weight, but with all these little hairs that are so brittle, that's why I didn't do that. So that's why it looks so sloppy of an outline.
So what wood do you normally use? Becky's asking when you're scrolling, and Art Day also asked what the wood is that you're using. So why don't you talk a little bit about the wood? Is basically
well, I don't specifically know. It's usually an oak or a maple veneer, but it's on a stack of wood that a friend of mine had a stroke, and his wife gave me all the stack of wood he had left, so I don't know exactly what it is. But there's different veneers on different. They have a kind of a glossy backer. Long story short, it's about 3/16 inch thick. Has an MDF core, but the most common wood used. I mean, because I can't tell anybody where to find this wood because I don't know where he got it. So I'm afraid I can't answer that part of the question. But the most common wood used for portrait or scrolling is Baltic birch, and you can get that at Sloan's Wood Shop or Oak Couch Hardwoods or any other place if you search for Baltic birch. You usually can't get it 2 foot by 4 foot sheets, at least not easily. I haven't been able to find them. I hope that answered Joel's questions. I'm afraid I can't tell you where to get exactly what I have.
Yeah, I've done, I made a site.
Go ahead.
This is kind of cool. When I managed to get these.
too close, Jamie. And I don't think he's showing us.
Yeah, nobody can see the panel.
How come they're not?
Yeah, I'm sorry for that. It's just because I didn't want to block any portion of this.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I'll...
It looks good. It's a scroll saw portrait of
the logo.
Is it just me or is Jamie's audio going in and out?
It was probably because I had this...
All I heard was it's probably because, and then he went silent again. Is anybody there?
It was probably because I had to sign up in front of my face.
Right.
What's going on?
This show could go off the air and I wouldn't know it because I can't see nothing. Is anybody still there? Are we good?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. See, if Jamie was in charge of that, he would have told everybody, don't tell them we're here.
we left.
And I will move on to the reason why I didn't start with Jimmy Diresta is because I had already done the hair and eyes. And most of what's left to do on him is his beard hair and the name Diresta and what's showing of his shirt. But I will get to that here shortly. I'm just trying to do some of the detail around the eyes on this one to make it somewhat presentable. And I notice I tend to cut counterclockwise, and there's no reason for that. It's just a habit. Spiral blades work in any direction, so you can go the other way if you want to.
I certainly find that pulling the wood towards me, it cuts better
Yeah,
than if I push the wood in or maybe go left and right.
especially with a even though these are spiral blades, you can cut in any direction. When I'm doing a straight line, you will still see me spin the piece to where I'm pushing it away from myself straight, so I can see that line, because for some reason it's easier to stay. But if I'm trying to cut a straight line going this way, it's next to impossible.
Right.
Jamie can probably back me up on that.
Now, I always find that pushing the wood away from me is a hell of a lot easier than going in any other direction.
All right. Are y'all content with me stopping on Gollum and starting on old Jimmy? Let me put darkness behind there. That
I
definitely
think
looks
they
like,
got tired of you picking its nose.
yeah, that definitely looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon without it being done. This pattern is available on woodenvisions.com. There's also a version that says welcome underneath. It's sitting on the word welcome. So we're going to move on to Jimmy Diresta for those that came here for that.
Jim Bashir says Gollum has some major bags under his eyes.
Yes, he does. And I did not realize he had any hair. The picture I did this from was actually a statue. So maybe the statue had more hair than the actual character does.
And we lost Charles, by the way.
No, you didn't. I'm right here.
Dave Gatton.
Dag blabbit. But I appreciate you. See, that should be the drinking word, is dag blabbit. But anyway.
Lost Dave Jones, too.
Yeah, sure did. That was a while back, too.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Okay, I may need to back up on this one because it's such a big piece. Let me back the camera up. And I'll quickly show the panel while I'm doing that so everybody can wave and say hi.
Yeah, Robin Jacobson, that's right. That was Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Or
Yeah, okay, I'm going to thank you for being here, Robin. I'm going to zoom out just so y'all get an idea of how big this one is. The other one was 30 inches tall. This one's about just under, I think it's about 34 inches tall, somewhere in there, by about 2 feet wide. The reason why I have tape right here is because I had a weak spot when I was doing the, I didn't design it correctly, and most of the cap was flopping around, so I taped it to keep it from getting caught on the table. But yeah, that's Jimmy Diresta's eyes. Again, if you're just now joining us, I will show you the photograph I did it from.
And Dave Gatton still is watching, by the way, Charles. He wanted to tell you.
Appreciate that, Dave. This is the photograph I did this pattern from. Photograph provided by Jamie Page there. And so hopefully y'all can see those side by side and get an idea, but I know this is a huge piece. Now, are y'all, this goes for the panel as well as the chat, are y'all okay with me leaving it zoomed out like this?
Yeah, come on.
I think it looks better than the other one, too, as far as
Zooming it out? Or
yeah.
Well, it looks more like a person. Yeah, anyway. God, I have this fan on to stop dust, but it's freezing me out. So I'm turning that off for a second.
Think should he zoom in a little bit more, or you think it's okay there?
I think that one shows up better than the other one did.
Yeah.
I may have drawn it darker. I got to find a pen or something because I forgot to do flat lines at the bottom of this detail here, and I don't want to be inconsistent with that. Where the heck is all my pens? Y'all just talk amongst yourselves. I got to find a stupid pen.
Charles.
Yeah, Charles.
What?
There's your pen. JP's got your pen for you.
Oh, thank you. I can't quite reach that, so I'm going to keep looking for mine. I got 15 million pens. Okay, fine. I'll just go get a new one out of the box. Oh.
Be Happy Woodworking. He does nothing for me, so it wouldn't be, I could drink till I pass out.
Then I'll keep saying dag blabbit.
The more you drink, the better he looks.
Okay, I hope he's talking about something else and not me.
That's what Jim Bashir says is Charles or Jimmy.
Okay, I don't know if Debbie Shipman is still watching.
Gollum.
Okay. I don't know if Debbie Shipman is still watching, but let's say this was amongst all the crowd here. You could you could just very quickly, of course the pen has to work, you could very quickly shade in to know where to cut, just give yourself a general idea, or you can just do an X. So that's an example of, you know, trying to minimize the confusion of what to cut. But most people would adhere the paper to the wood and use mineral spirits or a heat gun to release it. Anyway, I may start with the letters. Just wait. This thing is so big, I have to move the scroll saw closer to me because it's hitting a shelf back behind the saw. So, and what's really funny, if you've watched me scroll live before, you've seen this, but you see that big old hunk of concrete under there? That's because the Hagner itself does not vibrate, but it's on a wooden floor of a shop, and this thing will it'll shake everything. So that's why I have this gigantic slab of concrete going underneath on top of the portion of the stand. So that's why that's there. And now you can see the roller stands I was talking about. That's what's there. That's what keeps everything from falling off.
You don't use a foot pedal, do you, Charles?
No, but I do have one. I've used it one time because I was working on a 5-foot wide piece, and it was just so hard to hit the switch because I was having to reach way under the piece to reach the switch. So that was just quicker. So I've done it one time. I did a portrait of Metallica, 5 feet wide, and the Last Supper. I did that 6 feet wide. That's the only times I've used that foot switch. But anyways, I need to move the scroll saw close to me. When I say "but anyway," I don't mean to brush you off. But that should be the drinking word because I do say "anyway" a lot. Now you say that. Anyway, I just did it again. Okay, I'm gonna slide the saw closer to myself so I can do these letters at an angle like this, so they're still right side up to everybody else and won't be as hard on the eye, so to speak. And the panel is showing if anybody wants to wave or talk or whatever.
Hi folks, how are y'all doing?
This thing's much heavier with that concrete slab on it, so let me move it. Please stand by. Oh my gosh. Oh my Lord. If you hear any sound effect, yeah, it's very heavy, but it keeps it from vibrating the shop floor as much. And that concrete slab is stuck on my table, so I gotta move it. Oh, mama. Okay. Okay.
You sound like the building fell on you. The Wicked Witch of the
Okay, I gotta compensate with my roller tables again, and I have them staggered. I have a table. I have a roller. Dang it! What do I call it? It's like a table with 5 rollers in it. It's a little bulkier than these are. Is why I don't have it in here. But I just remembered I was trying to do Jimmy Diresta at an angle, so I need to move the rollers at an angle. It's just, these are not here necessarily for smooth moving. It's just so that the thing doesn't fall off the scroll saw table. Anyway, y'all still with me? It's kind of quiet.
Still here.
Yeah.
Okay. Just, I can't see the panel, so why do I have to cut things the size of a bloody billboard? I don't know. Ba-ding. Somebody got a messenger.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, we're going to start with the letters. Now, there are straight lines on here. I might mess that up. I am not perfect.
I am.
There's that goofy laugh Gary Griffiths was talking about. See, I'm going to be self-conscious about everything I do now. Okay, I'm not sure I'm not going to hit the wall beside me because my office is kind of narrow. All right, that's
if you
what I did.
clean it, you'd have more room.
No, says a guy called Paul's Messy Workshop. No, I've been working on my shop, believe it or not, for about a week now. I mean, it looks chaotic right now, but it's a cleaner chaotic. I'm cleaning the floor, and then I'm going to organize everything. So yeah, it's been taking me a while. Okay, I'm going to hopefully not hit the wall while I'm doing this. I've done talked myself into another swig of. This is actually a Walmart brand Dr. Pepper because I'm a cheap butt, and it tastes just as good, if not better. It gets so quiet. Ooh, Charles is going to drink now. Let's listen.
Oh. Can I talk about the 2017 Gatton CNC Christmas Challenge?
Absolutely. I should have done that myself, and I screwed up. Go, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Well, Dave Gatton is having that, and I think he just posted some stuff, some videos. But anyway, it's through, I believe, Christmas Eve at midnight. I could be wrong, but I think that's when it is. I could be wrong. No, the 23rd. It was the 20th. Uh-oh, I'm messing this up. Uh-oh. I better go find out before.
Well, Al's intentions were good, by golly.
Yeah. Sorry, David. David, are you still out there? Post when it is. I botched it up.
Real quickly, I could have added more detail into the clothes, but the focus of most portraits, matter of fact, any portrait, is the face. So that's why the clothes aren't real detailed. They're just suggested. Like the drawstring on his sweat or his hoodie, there's suggestion of the zippers. And now that I have that pen, I need to do that straight line that I was telling you about I needed to do. And I got to find a straight edge, which is just out of my reach. Okay, I'm doing this so that I don't have a wobbly line here. You know, dead air is the worst thing for a live show.
I've got some filler.
I messed up already. Go ahead.
For the 2017 Gatton CNC Christmas Challenge. The 2017 Gatton CNC Christmas Challenge will officially begin on November 24th, Black Friday, and end on December 24th, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. I was right, p.m. Eastern. Remember, that doesn't mean that you can't go ahead and begin working on your project before November 24th for those time travelers in the audience.
Oh, bloody poop. I didn't know I was going to slip that in. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's all I got.
All right. Yeah, the first line I drew was a mistake. That line right there, this is a separate piece of detail from this one, and I accidentally drew a line there. So ignore that line. Okay.
And it is open to everyone, even Jamie.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's good. I haven't got a CNC.
Bless us, everyone.
Hey, Charles, when you're all done with those, do you lightly sand the front to get rid of any lines that may
Oh,
still be
absolutely. And you don't even necessarily have to lightly do it. Like that sounds contradictory to brittle projects. But
I was just thinking so you wouldn't sand through the veneer.
Yeah. You don't want to bear down on it, but sometimes I'll just get, because I do try to stay on the line, sometimes I'll just get sandpaper and just look for those little carbon paper lines and just sand them off like that. But sometimes you, like where all this beard hair is so close together, it would be hard to break that unless you just had a long string that wasn't attached to anything. So you can use a palm sander. But I have a video on my channel, I believe, called How to Sand Delicate Fretwork. Plug. Anyway, but I hope that answered your question. But yeah, most times I'll just look for the little spots and use the hand sandpaper.
I just want to quickly put a link out in the
okay, while you're plugging, I'm going to go scrolling so it's not to interrupt you, but just talk a little bit louder.
Carl Jacobson has got a fundraiser on his mobile maker.
Oh, yeah. If you can talk louder, Jamie, that'd be cool.
You want to take a lady on the road and basically do some classes and such. Basically get a trailer, fill it up with tools and go travelling. So yeah, fundraiser's been set up. So obviously if you can spare a few dollars, Robin will truly appreciate it.
I'm hitting the side wall of my shop, so I gotta move my scroll saw this way. Yeah, if you've never met Carl Jacobson Carl and Robin Jacobson, if you ever get a chance, please do it. They are the sweetest people. And I know Jamie can back me up on that. Me and Jamie fight over Robin. She happens to be married, but oh well. Anyway, he's a sweetheart of a man. She's a sweetheart of a woman. It's just they're just great people. If you get a chance to meet them, it's worth the effort, I think, because they are awesome people. Okay, let's see if I can do this without bumping into something. What am I catching on? Okay, go back to you, Jamie. Yeah, they're doing the mobile thing, and I'm envious as hell because I've always wanted an RV. But go ahead if you want to get into more detail about that, Jamie.
The fundraiser over in the chat.
All right, remind me, and I will put it somewhere in the description if I can remember to do it.
All right.
And you may be wondering, some people may be wondering why I'm going back where I've already cut. It's because I like to cut, like we were talking earlier, like to move the piece away from yourself. Now, I can't do it directly away from myself like this because the piece is so big. The throat of this scroll saw is only 22 inches, and this piece is close to 3 feet tall, so I'm having to eyeball it this way.
Okay, so can I talk about another challenge?
Sure.
Yeah, so in addition to the Dave Gatton CNC Christmas Challenge and you can find the instructions or the directions, or the rules, I guess is what they're called, www.davegatton.com is his website. There is also Portal Woodworks is having the 2017 Bandsaw Box Challenge. And you can find more information about that at portalwoodworks.com also. In fact, I'll post both the links. You guys.
Look at Al rocking those commercials, baby.
Yes.
Oh, incidentally, Jamie's, I think he may have already said it, but he's also part of Makers Media Network, and his website is done by Hardnail Media.
Yeah.
And if there's anything else, please somebody say, because my memory isn't that great sometimes. So.
And Jamie, do you recall which night? Is it Tuesdays or Wednesdays? I think it's Wednesdays that Eloy does the show.
Tuesdays. Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. This week got Make It Soap.
Oh, Make It Soap. Yeah.
Make It Soap.
Yeah, I don't know about y'all, but to me, Jamie's audio is going in and out. Is why I keep repeating what he's saying. Make it Soph, S-O-P-H is how that.
Make it Soph,
as in Sophie. So yeah, I haven't got to watch a whole lot of her stuff, but they've been promoting the heck out of her, and she seems like a good person. So I encourage y'all to check that out. And Eloy Escogedo is spelled E-S-C-A-G-E-D-O, but he says just look up Skull Cherries. He's the first result for it. So that's
I don't think he is anymore. I think some people have overtaken him.
Somebody heard him talking about it too much and tried to outdo him.
I think so.
And Jamie is Eloy's co-host. He didn't like me enough to be my co-host permanently. Thank you for being here, Paul.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Be good.
Bye, Paul.
Yep.
Have a nice evening.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Take it easy.
No,
See you, Jamie.
I knew when I asked Jamie that it was a weekend, it's weird hours for him, so I knew it would be asking a lot to try to get it. So I'm publicly saying that I don't blame him for saying that he couldn't commit to it because it's a weekend and family, this and that, and he's already working with Eloy, and by God, I respect that. And he doesn't like me. So it is possible to cut a straight line with a spiral blade. It takes a bunch of practice. And even though the back of that D is not a straight line, I still want to cut it towards me as if it was a straight line. Wow, the chat's finally moving for me. It just randomly started. If anybody wants me to get into the detail of the face, let me know, and I'll jump to that. Right now, I just figured I'd start with something a lot of us do is letters.
I bet they want to see you cut the eyeball out.
I've already cut the eyes out before I started the show.
Well, like I'm saying.
I started this project a while back, but a lot of times I need the live show to inspire me to get back going on a project. I don't know, is it showing on camera because I got the green present bar? Is his mouth and nose showing? up here? Okay.
The nose is showing, but that's about it.
Okay, if the nose is showing, then the mouth is showing. The eyes
Yeah,
are
the
already
mouth is
done.
showing.
Does anybody want me to move to the face and stop with the letters? Because I want to do what the viewers want to see, so it's not that I'm indecisive. Alrighty then.
Yeah, I'm looking. They haven't said anything.
Okay, I will do his nose, and then his mouth, and then jump back down to the letters, and then we can do some facial hair, but I think that would get too monotonous for average people. Average people, that sounded bad. God, I am so narrow here. I might run into the wall. Wow. Yeah, I don't know if I have the width in my shop to do this mouth, but I'm going to try to.
Are you saying he's got a wide mouth, or?
No, I'm saying my shop is very narrow, and this piece is 3 feet wide, or tall, but wide right now. And I can't get the stupid blade through the pilot hole.
Yeah, now I see that the eyes are cut out. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Dag nabbit. I can feel the pilot hole, but I can't get the blade to pop through it. I don't know if I drilled it deep enough.
And I'm Katie's fading out on us.
Love you, Katie. Thank you for being here.
Got to get up early in the morning. Good night, Katie.
I have to wake up at 6:30 in the morning too myself, but I'm being very careful when I say I can't find the pilot hole, because there are people out there that will take that somewhere else. Jamie probably being one of them, but I don't want to name.
JP's shaking his head. Not I.
Yeah, Jamie's so innocent. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this bloody mouth. It's not bloody. Yeah, because I'm already. See, I can't even get it onto the table because I got wall on one side and I got a fan right here, just out of view, to blow the sawdust away. But oh man. Okay, I got that fan. No, I can't do the mouth. This is sad. Unless I move it back out this way, I can't do the mouth. Why did I move it towards me anyway? Oh, because it was so big and I couldn't do the letters. So I can move it back. Yay! This won't take very long. Yeah. I just want to do some face detail because we are coming up on an hour, and I know the average person.
By the way, Chris Steelan just gave you a super chat for $10.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chris. You are my friend right now. Well, you're my friend anyway. Thank you very much for that. It means a lot. And if y'all weren't here in the beginning of the show, I now have a Patreon, and it has rewards for each level except for $1. That's just my appreciation, if you understand that. And I also have scroll on t-shirts, either just the text or the picture version where I'm pointing saying scroll on. T-shirts and coffee cups, women's and men's t-shirts. And I'm working on beanies and caps. Oh, good Lord, this thing is heavy. Oh. Y'all might see my intestines squirt out, and I'm not going to say from where. But use your imagination. Oh, okay. The stuff I do for you people. I love it when y'all stay quiet when I'm not talking.
Typing, Charles. Don't bother me while I'm typing.
Say somebody's got to stay quiet. Good Lord, this thing is heavy. I'm trying to get down floor level, and I can't because my shop is so small. I mean, my office. Okay, got to get on the floor here. Now, I don't want this thing to tip over. There we go. Googly moogly. Oh. Okay, my knees ain't what they used to be. Yeah, they are. Okay.
I blame Chris Nealon, by the way. Chris.
Why do you blame? I'm not sure what you're saying, but okay. Let me.
He did a super chat, and I decided to do a super chat. Merry Christmas, Charles.
Thank you, sir. Was it for $50,000?
No.
Dang, never thought we were homies. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, Al.
But I did match his.
Awesome. Y'all are good people. I appreciate that. Anybody watching Super Chats, Patreon, and the t-shirts and stuff is not something I expect y'all or I want y'all to feel obligated to do. It's just if you want to help out, support the channel, blah, 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 blah. It is deeply appreciated. Not required. Okay. I'm out of breath. How many scrollers are out of breath? That's because I have to move this behemoth. Oh, I got to move the camera too, don't I?
That's 2 cents per hour, right? Right, Chris?
Yeah.
And probably way less, huh?
Okay, yeah. Now you can very distinctly see the. And I have a heater over there. I just can't use it because it wouldn't hit me anyways. It'd go under my stool here. Anyways, I got the roller stands for the what you call it. Okay, I should be able to do his mouth now without bumping anything.
Hey,
When
Dave, I'm sorry, I was going to say this to Dave. Dave, a while back we were matching thumbs downs for super chats, and we're ahead of the curve this time. We've got 20 to 12. So anyway,
I think my last video, I believe, got up to 16. And I know people are saying, don't talk about it. Well, I'm not crying about it because it says more about the people that do it. And the only time it really bothers me is when they do it before the show's even started, because that's pure spite. But, you know, it never, I don't lose sleep over it. When it first started happening, I was a little butthurt by it, but, you know, life moves on. The thumbs ups outweigh the thumbs downs, and it's still activity on your channel, so try to see it that way.
Yeah. It's costing them a fortune, not you.
Yeah. Some people will actually pay for them, but we won't get into that. God, it's cold in here, but the heater won't reach me. We're good.
Hey, if they're tipping and they change the law on tipping, does that mean we all get a cut of the tip?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up, Al. I just
Do you know what I'm talking about or not?
Oh, you're talking about something Trump was doing to wanting to make, because I know certain bars will make the waitresses or whatever that get tipped.
Yeah.
They will make them share it with everybody in the place. I don't know. I don't remember the specifics of that. But
No,
I can confidently say it has nothing to do with the show. And I'm not jumping on you for going off topic. I'm saying I don't know if I'm making enough to share with the panel as much as I would love to.
I'm just joking, Charles.
I know.
By the way, Mark Lindsay says they're yanking your chain, Charles. They do it because it gets to you.
It doesn't really get to me. I think it's funny and sad. Now, the fact that I talk about it, people might think it bothers me, but I think it's funny. It's sad.
Yeah. I sometimes see those and I go, really? On that?
Well, yeah, because if you stop and think about it, I think Jamie will back me up here, or anybody really. If you see a video that has 15 to 20 thumbs down, a lot of people will wonder why it got so many thumbs down and know why.
Yeah.
I mean, that some people have that kind of curiosity. I mean, so it kind of backfires on the people trying to be butt monkeys. But I get that not everybody's going to like my videos or me, and that's fine. I try to be a friendly fella, but I'm not for everybody. So yes, talking about it gives them ammo, but they're not getting the results they want, so it's kind of a waste of time on their part. Delco is quiet. Somebody probably I guarantee you, Jamie, type in there, let's stay quiet and make them think the show's over.
No, I confused Mark Lindsay.
Yeah, I gotta get closer. My eyesight was crossing. The reason why this
possibly Chris.
The reason why this is shaped like it is because his oh, my shoulder's killing me. Anyway, his upper lip shows in part of the picture, and part of it is overlapped with the mustache. That's why it's jagged over here and smooth over here. So that's why you see the weird shape to the upper lip. And you don't see a distinct lower lip, is why you just see that patch that's under the guy's bottom lip. So that is the way. Well, I guess I could have done a little bit of a lower lip looking at the photograph, but oh well. So yeah, that's where we're at, and that's why it looks the way it does. I just wanted to explain that right quick. After I get done with the mouth and nose, I will probably end the show. But may work on these during the week. Just click on that bell for notifications if you are interested in watching. If not, appreciate you being here tonight.
And by the way, Chris Nealon, that Yancey's Fancy Hot Wasabi Horseradish Pasteurized Processed Aged Cheddar Cheese looks delicious. I'm not sure about the process, but looks like it'd be very tasty.
That's one thing about those cats. There's a big variety of topics. Thank God people don't feel like they have to stay on. And that's not a dig. I'm being serious. I like the fact that people can, if for nothing else, people can use these live shows to just hang out in a chat box together and talk. I like that. I can't see as well this far away, so if I'm going off the line, that's why. 'Cause I don't want to block the camera with my head.
And you're not, Charles.
Thank you. I'm actually surprised I have not broken a blade yet, and I watch that happen any minute now. Alrighty then. Oh, that's the mouth. It looks like he's frowning because, yeah, I don't have all the stuff there. And I told y'all I would show you using a needle file. I know this is not to call anybody idiots because I know most people know how to use a needle file, but as far as fuzzies, you see how they kind of bunch up around the edge there? You don't do it on the scrap pieces. Just pretend this is part of the project. What I will do is I will angle down and slide sideways. And that gets the ones off the top. Then you do the same thing on the side, and boom, there's no fuzzies right there. That's just a. Did I do that in range of the camera?
Go a little bit left, and just a tiny bit. No, the other way. The other left. Your other left. There you go.
Okay, let me find another spot. That was the longest spot too. I should have done that right. Okay, we're gonna do it right. Let me make sure I'm in range. I got to get the angle right. Dang nabbit, I can't see nothing.
And now you went off screen.
Okay, I'm trying to. Everything's backwards to me. That's why I'm having so much trouble.
Just set it down on top of the scroll saw.
Well, I can't go down like I ordinarily would on the scroll saw. But okay, I'm just trying to get the right angle. That's the problem. Okay, so we're just gonna do this. If you look closely, they're sort of curled up over the top. So what I do is I slide that off to the side to roll them off the top, and then angle down, and that makes that a clean edge. You slide level with it and then slide down, and that gets the fuzzies off. It's a pain in the butt, but it's the hazard of using the ease of using spirals. So I hope that helped anybody that's never used needle files. Some people will actually use a blowtorch or those little butane torches. Not like
Really?
I'd be too paranoid to do that. I don't want them to curl around and burn the front of my project. That being said, some people like doing a rustic look with a burned look. But anyway,
I have to call out Eloy on that one. He
definitely likes to do that.
Stuff burning.
Okay, I'm doing the nose so it at least looks somewhat finished. It looks kind of funny right now. And then after I get done with the nose and the brown lines, I will cease the show. That's what I get for turning my fan off. Is it's dusty all over my shop now. But yeah, I may turn it back on. Now that I've moved to where everything's not right in my face. There we go. Right.
Talking about that cheese, I think Chris Nealon says, delicious at night, curious burning in the morning. I hope that's what you meant, Chris.
All right. But I need everybody to know that I intentionally bring up the thumbs down to say that it doesn't bother me. Now, some people would disagree with that. But I'm a social person. I don't keep secrets. Well, I keep secrets. I should. But, you know, I don't mind the thumbs downs. That's why I talk about them so freely, because it's just part of being a YouTuber, part of, you know, childish games by some people, critiques by others. It just happens. It's mainly because each show I do, it could be somebody's first time watching. So I want them to know that if they're wondering why there's so many thumbs downs, don't worry about it. It's an activity on your channel, and that's why I talk about it so much. And it may not be a positive move towards my channel, but that's not why I do YouTube. And that's enough of that.
No, it's not Jim. I'm sorry. It's Be Happy Woodworking. And Honeybee says, hey, I found out something. Egg salad sandwich goes pretty good with tequila. Don't you know everything goes good with tequila?
Especially ibuprofen. I don't know that. I haven't touched alcohol since I was 15, puking over a fence. But I am a Dr. Pepperholic. Jamie, you're being awful quiet. Are you being a comedian out in the chat or talking in a hangout?
Yeah, Dr. Pepperholic.
Yeah.
I actually had some for lunch.
Yeah, I have it for breakfast, lunch, supper, snack, all kinds of stuff.
It was really cold, and I had rum blackcurrant, and I warmed it up in the microwave, and
Wow.
it took the chill out of the body. Really nice it was. I've had it for years.
Rum and Dr. Pepper?
No, rum and blackcurrant.
I'm sorry, and what?
Rum and blackcurrant.
Black currant?
I guess I don't know what that is, Jamie.
I don't have a clue what that is. Probably a British drink.
Like fruit juice.
Oh.
Fruit juice.
Yeah, what you normally dilute with water.
Prune juice?
Yeah, it's blackcurrant fruit.
Yeah, I'm going to let y'all talk about that because I don't know nothing about drinking.
It's what you dilute with water.
What's the dilute with water, huh?
Yeah, a liquid that you just dilute with water.
Okay, I got you. Like a concentrate?
Yeah, like a concentrate.
Yeah. But is it a fruit or something? Or? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think you have them. What was it?
Black currant is what Mark Lindsay's saying. Hey,
I've never
I'll
heard
look
of that.
that up. I'll look that up.
Let me see if I can. I'll see if I can get you a picture.
I think Mark's had some before.
Yeah.
For those of you that see me going back and forth with the blades, that's another advantage for spirals. You can use it to nip away the line.
Have you ever heard of Ribena?
No.
No, I had a girlfriend named Ribena. I'm just kidding. That was so stupid. Go ahead. That was corny.
So,
Right.
so it's like little blackberries is what it is. A woody shrub in the family grown
Yeah,
for its.
yeah. You can get different flavors like strawberry juice and apple juice, and
Oh, neat.
but
They
it comes
look-
like a concentrate.
I got you. Yeah, I see some. I see some dried out. They kind of look like little cranberries, actually.
Yeah, so you can even use cranberry juice if you wanted to.
I bet that'd be cool. Thanks, Mark.
From the view I'm getting, that still looks funny without the mustache cut out because the mouth is there. It looks like a completely different person, but I'm not going to make everybody sit through that mustache. But once that mustache is done, this mouth will look normal. Right now, without it, the mustache being cut out, it looks a little funny. It looks like a completely different person. If you're just joining us or just catching the tail end of the show, that's the picture it's being done from. And I'm going to go back to doing this here, and that'll probably be the final cut. Go ahead. Back to your juice.
Actually, I think it's painful. That's memorialized by his ex-girlfriend, Regina. The new drinking word?
No, because I can't even remember that name long enough to say it again. That was just a joke.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, so what you normally do is you normally pour a little bit of that liquid out into a glass and then fill it up with water. But with that stuff, you can pour however much rum you want, and then you basically put your blackcurrant in there or whatever fruit juice you wanted, and then you warm it up in the microwave.
That sounds good. Maybe while I'm down in Florida, I'll look some up and holidays and all.
Yeah,
get me back with sister.
Yeah, but you don't do it. You don't do it so it goes really hot. You do it so it's like a lukewarm.
Lukewarm, really?
Well,
Yeah.
Sorry to get back on topic, but that looks really funny without the mustache cut out. I hope Jimmy doesn't catch this part of the show and say, "My God, what have you done to me?" Because it looks funny when it doesn't have the darkness behind it. But yeah, without that mustache cut out. During the week, I'll probably work on this and Gollum. If anybody's interested, just click on the bell on my YouTube channel, and you will be notified of anything. I hope. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, and I will answer them if I see them, which I probably will. And thank you all for watching, and thank you all for being on the panel. We had Jamie, Paul Corliss, Portal Woodworks, Dave Gatton for a little bit, Al Forte, everybody in the chat. It's not showing me how many people are reviewing this and that, but appreciate I'm gonna stop presenting.
You want me to rattle them off?
If you want to.
Sure. Chris Nealon's out there. Mark Lindsay's out there. Rusty Nails, Jim Bashir's. Dave Gatton's still out there. It seems that way. David Williams is out there. Be Happy Woodworking and Honeybees. Actually, that sounds pretty good. I said Chris Nealon, I think. Eloy Escajedo. Jim Bashir's, Becky's Texas Workshop, and I think she took off a little while ago. And I don't see anybody else. Pretty much.
I got to put the camera on Jamie because he's being all festive, and I didn't have that on camera.
David Williams, Rusty Nails.
With an S.
Yes, with an S.
Rusty Nails with a Z is Russ Meadows. I can never remember Rusty Nails with an S's name. I know we had Jamie at one point, and y'all's feedback, whether the panel or chat, is crucial to me as far as what I want to. Yeah, Carl Robin. I thought I said that. Sorry. I know it's not, even if you like something like scroll sawing, it's hard to sit and watch, and I'm not down on myself for doing this. As far as the direction my channel has been going, the interview shows don't seem to do as well as the live scrolling and or any project, but for me, scrolling. So that's why you see me doing this more than interviews, and y'all's feedback on what you would like to see is crucial to me because I want to do what y'all want. I don't want to assume I know what everybody wants to see. So whether you're seeing this live or seeing this months or years later down the road, if I'm still alive, I'll do whatever people want as long as there's a majority. If one person says do a tree and 50 people say do a dog, I'll do a dog. So, stuff like that. So I would really like to get y'all's feedback. Again, if you'd like to support the channel, I have a Patreon now. It's in the description, as well as where you can get scroll-on t-shirts and coffee cups and soon-to-be caps and beanies. But
Chris Nealon says all shows are good shows, Russ.
Russ.
Sorry.
I'm working on my Rush starter kit as far as my facial hair, but I'm not quite there yet.
No, sorry.
You don't have to apologize. It's an easy mistake. Russ has a show on Saturday nights. I don't remember the time, I'll be honest. Simply Wooden Creations.
It's 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, so that would be 7 p.m. Central and 2 hours less than that for Pacific, which is like California time. Anyway, thank you, Jamie, David, both Davids, Al and Paul for being on the panel. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for being here. And right as I say scroll on, Jamie's going to say smell my finger. And he's the one that's on. I'm going to let Jamie have the
No, go on, short show.
oh, golly gee whiz. Thank you. Well, okay. I can't point at the camera because my hands are busy over here. Don't go there. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you'll continue. And I really would like the feedback on what you'd like to see on this channel because I'm trying to somewhat steer away from interviews. I want to do what y'all want to see. Anyway, live long and prosper, Al.
Live long and prosper.
I don't know what they say in the UK. UK. I was about to say good day, but that's Australia. So what? No, they don't say smell my finger. I love you, Jamie. God almighty. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. I will see you next week. And if I don't freak out and have a panic attack, by God, I'll be here and probably will be here during the week. Working on both of these if anybody's interested. Even if you're not, I'm still going to be doing it. So y'all be good. And above all, don't smell my finger. Scroll on.